In Pisces or Fishes, last time we studied about the general characters and classification. Today we are going to discuss about the structure of gills in cartilaginous as well as bony fishes, and also we are going to discuss about the mechanism of respiration. In fishes, gills are the main respiratory organs in fishes. So today we are going to study about the gill structure in cartilaginous fishes. That is, for example, Scoliodon. There are 5 pairs of lateral gill pouches. Each gill pouch communicates with the pharynx by a large internal branchial aperture and with exterior by a narrow external branchial aperture. The successive gill pouches are completely separated from each other by interbranchial septa or gill septa. You see the figure. This space is nothing but the esophagus and internal one is the pharynx. There are 5 pairs of lateral pouches. You see, these are the pouches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these communicate with the pharynx by interbranchial apertures. You see, this is interbranchial apertures, and outside by external branchial apertures, and these separate by a gill or internal branchial septa. So these are the internal branchial septa. The inner or pharyngeal border, this one is, of gill septum is supported by gill arch or branchial arch. This arch has branchial rays or gill rays. So you see this at the center. So these gill rays to give support the septum, that is, they give support to this septum. A gill arch also gives out a rigid structure called gill raker. It projects towards pharynx. The gill raker prevents the entry of food particles in the internal branchial aperture. The endodermal mucous membrane of a septum is raised into a numerous horizontal leaf-like folds called gill filaments or gill lamellae. The interbranchial septum bears 2 sets of gill filaments, one on its anterior face and the other on its posterior face. Each set is called a half gill or hemibranch, or it is also called as demibranch. Both the sets with the gill arch and interbranchial septum form a complete gill or a hollow branch, that is collectively called as hollow branch. The posterior demi-branch of a septum has longer filaments than those of the anterior demi-branch. Each gill pouch has generally two sets of gill filaments, one on its anterior wall and the other posterior wall. In cartilaginous fishes, the interbranchial septa extend well beyond their gill filaments and bend posteriorly. These then form flaps. These flaps protect the gill filaments as well as the external branchial apertures. Each gill filaments of a gill are attached to their interbranchial septum. All along their length, such gills are called lamelliform. These are regarded as primitive to the gills of bony fishes. In Scoliodon, there are 9 hemibranches in each side. Now we will see about the gill structure in bony fish. For example, labio. In labio, there are 5 pairs of gill clefts opening in pharynx by opening, that is the internal branchial apertures. As gill clefts do not open to exterior directly, there are no external branchial apertures. You see the figure, a structure called operculum. In this labio, the gill clefts are covered with the operculum. So it forms a gill chamber. So inside this operculum, it forms a gill chamber. In the gill chamber lies the gills. The gill chamber opens posteriorly by external branchial aperture, which is located at the posterior side. The inner surface of operculum is lined by a branchial membrane. This membrane also extends behind towards the body wall. Here it acts as a wall. It maintains unidirectional water flow. That means it allows only towards one direction, that is from gill chamber to the exterior and not reverse. Just behind the mouth in buccal cavity there are 2 oral holes. These allow water to enter the mouth and do not allow water from pharynx to go out through mouth. Now we will see about the structure of gill. The gill of bony fish is evolved from that of cartilaginous fishes, that is by the loss of interbranchial septum. That means we will not see here the interbranchial septum. The endodermal mucous membrane of gill clefts produces branchial filaments. The branchial filaments of one side produce collectively a structure called demi-branch, or it is also called as the hemibranch. Each demibranch has supporting gill ray. That is, in case of Scoliodon, there is only a single gill ray. But in the labio, we will observe two gill rays. That is, each demibranch has supporting gill ray. Thus, the gill rays are paired. The two hemibranches with its branchial arch form a holobranch. The branchial arch towards the pharyngeal side produces comb-like structure which is called as the gill raker. As the interbranchial septum is reduced, the two demibranches are free, each that is from each other. Hence, a hollow branch appears fork-like. Such a gill is called filiform, or it is also called as the pectinate. In such a gill, each demibranch comes in contact of water by the anterior as well as posterior face. Hence, it is advanced to the lamelliform gill of cartilaginous fishes.